Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we have, unfortunately, a very serious discussion on our hands. I went on Reddit, as I've been doing regularly, because of course the Battlefield subreddits have been undergoing a serious civil war over every topic regarding Battlefield 6. Unfortunately, I came across this post about a apparent leak that the next Battlefield game might have skill-based matchmaking, which is about the worst possible news you could hear about the next Battlefield game. You see, it doesn't really matter if the next Battlefield game turns out to be good if the game is completely ruined by skill-based matchmaking. So we're going to go over all of this. Please keep in mind that this is a leak. This isn't like officially from EA or DICE, so take it with a grain of salt. But this does start a very serious conversation about a topic that I've already sort of warned about in many videos. I think I've made like 5 or 6 videos expressing my concern that this might happen with the next Battlefield game. And you can imagine my disappointment seeing even the slightest possibility of this being real. As always, if you enjoy the content, be sure to hit the like button. Thank you to everyone that does that. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you want to follow all sort of FPS games. I do try to cover a lot of the stuff that comes out. Over 50% of people that watch my videos are not subscribed, so you could be watching the videos and think you're subscribed, but you're just not. I know I've certainly done that for certain channels. Now, this Battlefield Reddit post that we're going to be going over is a screenshot from Discord. And it reads as follows. Extraction example 1 for the updated EBX format in Battlefield 2025. We checked autotest_matchmaking checks and autotest_matchmaking flow to get an idea of the BF6 matchmaking process. Matchmaking logic matchmaking data provider contains metrics used by the matchmaking process. Can use float, int, true/false. Then he lists a bunch of sort of parameters like score per minute, win-loss ratio, KDR, input device, and potential others like connection/ping and squad fill. He then goes on to say, matchmaking logic/matchmaking logic, simple weight system for all metrics. Logic differentiates between multiplayer, which is MP, Gran BR, the Battle Royale, and Gran GA, which is Gauntlet. And Gran stands for Granite, which I believe is the working name or the actual name of the Battle Royale map. And keep in mind, Gauntlet takes place on the Battle Royale map. So all of that intricate stuff there in these little abbreviations does appear to check out. Now it does go on to say values for multiplayer. All values can be overwritten via server-side data. Then he goes ahead and lists some data values under the parameters that I listed earlier, like score per minute, win-loss ratio, KD, all that sort of stuff. The last few things he has to say about this is matchmaking logic/matchmaking state provider softens the weight of the metrics after some time, seconds, so you don't have to wait too long because of matchmaking. Has to be evaluated during a live test. Then he lists a couple things which I don't understand, like 11 equals 55, 99 equals 10. I'm not too sure what that means. And finally, he goes on to say there are also links to some kind of matchmaking history, but we can't access server-side logic and values without an active playtest session. So that is the information that we have received so far, and now I'm gonna get a little preachy, okay? I'm gonna start preaching to you guys a little bit here. Battlefield better not motherfucking have any skill-based motherfucking matchmaking, okay? Let me tell you why. It doesn't need it. It just simply doesn't need it. The entire concept of Battlefield and Battlefield's gameplay is dependent on there being no sort of weird matchmaking system that tries to curate the experience for certain types of players in a certain way. Battlefield as a game, the gameplay itself, is dependent on the randomness. A bunch of random people loaded into a random server on a random map doing a bunch of random shit. That is what Battlefield is. And keep in mind, number one, not a single soul asked for this. Nobody. In fact, I've seen more concern about it than people actually trying to defend it even now. People are freaking out about this, rightfully so, even though this is the very first time we've ever heard anything relating to skill-based matchmaking with the next game. And I'm just gonna come out and say a big sort of prediction here, maybe a big statement. EA might outdo themselves in the wrong direction yet again. You think 2042 being dead on arrival was impressive? How about BF6 being dead before arrival? That is what will happen to the reputation of Battlefield 6. If we get solid confirmation from official sources, the next game has skill-based matchmaking like we see in Call of Duty. Now, let's just, for instance, have a hypothetical conversation about, oh, what if skill-based matchmaking isn't as strict or works in a different way than Call of Duty? Then we'll have to see how it is, right? But me personally, skill-based matchmaking means there isn't going to be a server browser. That is a huge red flag to 100% of the Battlefield community. Everyone is asking for a server browser, and with skill-based matchmaking, you cannot have a server browser. So right then and there, you're going against the community's biggest wishes in two separate ways. You're not giving them a server browser, and you're fucking adding something that will destroy the fabric of the fucking franchise, which apparently you're trying to save by going back to your roots, like EA and DICE has stated about, 1,500 times at this point. But ladies and gentlemen, the reason I've made so many videos expressing my concern for the possibility of this happening is because it's so painfully predictable. This is modern gaming, guys. Everything sucks nowadays. It's just the way it is. These developers and publishers cannot help themselves. They can't help themselves. They look at Call of Duty and they're just salivating over the amount of zero brain cell individuals pouring money into the games because they're being protected by this godforsaken system. And we already know from an ex-DICE developer that they are absolutely jealous of Call of Duty. So again, it's just painfully predictable. And wouldn't it be poetic if the next game is actually pretty decent at its core, but the thing that's ruining it is skill-based matchmaking? It would just be so fucking on trend. But don't get me wrong, I don't want to get ahead of myself just yet. It's not time to, fully panic, because obviously we haven't played the game, we don't have, the full story, this is a leak, right? You can question the validity of it, you can question whether or not this is rage bait being posted on Reddit for panic upvotes, but I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying, if they have the audacity, right? The sheer ignorance to implement skill-based matchmaking in a franchise like Battlefield, a franchise whose casual player base loves the game without skill-based matchmaking. Let's just get that clear. Battlefield has been successful without these BS systems in the past, okay? They love BF4. People love Battlefield 3. People love how Battlefield plays. And make no mistake, if they implement skill-based matchmaking, all the memories you guys have of having fun in previous Battlefield games, all the memories of you remembering how Battlefield plays as a game, those are all gone because skill-based matchmaking changes that at a fundamental level, okay? It's over. And just to throw the cherry on top at the end of this video, allow me to present to you this take. If Battlefield implements skill-based matchmaking, it would represent the death of casual FPS gaming as a concept. I cannot name a casual FPS game other than Battlefield that does not bastardize their franchise with skill-based matchmaking at this point. Call of Duty, Apex Legends, you name it, there's some form of BS matchmaking in the game. Even Delta Force. I mean, Delta Force tried to essentially compete with Battlefield, and they messed up by just destroying the way their matchmaking works. So no big deal, guys. Battlefield's just the last safe haven for casual FPS gaming for people of all skill levels. And, that might be taken away from us because of ignorant corporate greed. So that's fantastic. 2025 is off to a phenomenal start. But let me know your thoughts about this topic in the comment section down below. If you somehow enjoyed the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more unfiltered Battlefield takes and everything else relating to FPS gaming, guides, settings, all that sort of stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day, and I will see you guys in the next video.